Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be your host for the evening, The Sound, and tonight we are taking a look at Division A of the Nexus Gaming series. We'll be seeing Magnitude Epicenter taking on gillySharks at Bingo Night in a best-of-3 series. This is one of two teams that the Magnitude organization are fielding. It's their second season together. They're a force to be reckoned with, no doubt. And on the other side, gillyShark at Bingo Night, one of the longest running teams in NGS. This is their 5th season in Division A. They're familiar faces. I don't know if they're still playing bingo, as their name suggests, but they might well be. Let's take a look at the divisional standings here before we get into the game to see where our teams currently stand. We've got gillySharks at 4th with 22 points and Magnitude in 6th with 17. So a fair bit of room between these two teams. A domination for Epicenter would still have them trailing a little bit behind gillyShark. But that, I think they're both pretty well situated for playoffs as we are nearing the postseason here. Let's take a look at our battleground selection as well to see where we're headed for Game 1. We're going to Infernal Shrines as selected by gillyShark at Bingo Night. Magnitude Epicenter won the coin toss and opted for first pick. And we've got map bans on Volskaya and Alterac from Magnitude, with gillyShark banning out Braxis and BOE. And it looks like we're all loaded into the lobby, so we should be off to the races for Game 1 draft here shortly. Thank you for joining, everyone who's tuned in. It's a pleasure to have you. It's always great to see everyone come out and support their favorite teams. It's part of what makes NGS such an excellent community to participate in. So be sure to cheer it along. Getting to go back and watch your friends be excited for all your good plays is half the fun of getting a broadcast, I find. What else can I say about gillyShark and Magnitude Epicenter? Epicenter, I believe, is the higher of the two Magnitude organization teams that they're currently fielding. I see Punk in chat, who can correct me if I'm wrong there. And I think they've had a relatively successful season. We've also, with non-champion asking for weird picks from gillyShark, that is, of course, because in seasons past, one of them, I can't remember who, created a bingo card generator with silly HOTS draft considerations. So let's swap over to take a look at our draft as we get prepared for game number 1. So we see a Lucio first ban out of Magnitude. Oriel has been the healer of choice for gillyShark as they respond with Tassadar. Falstad has also been a big pick for them this season. and finally a Garrosh ban. So we'll see what the first pick is. The Haka is highly contested between these two teams. Both really enjoy it. So it could go first here. And there it is. It is indeed the Apex Predator for first pick. The global, not as high value here. There's the immediate response with the Oriole and Chromie. Chromie, a bit of a deny pick, I believe. No, it's just, yeah, that is a bit of a deny pick for them, so. Epicenter do not have access to their favorite mage. Looks like they've got another great shrine nabbing hero in Gul'dan. And they'll lock in Muradin. I would have expected a Varian, just based on their previous season drafts. They have been favoring all of the tanks that say mean things to you, which is to say taunt. Second ban here, I'd expect a healer ban from gillyShark. There's the Uther ban. Very interesting. Oriole has been their favorite magnitudes, that is. So gillyShark getting 2 strong deny picks in their first round there. And there's the Diablo ban. Alright, Diablo, always a scary presence on Infernal Shrines with how much terrain there is for him to throw his opponents against. Next 2 picks here for gillyShark. They need someone for the offlane and another frontline hero, most likely. So, Leoric Johanna. Thematically, canonically appropriate for the battleground. And also, both really good on the shrine. So, a strong rotation there from gillyShark. We'll see how Magnitude Epicenter want to round out their damage profile and deal with some of that Chromie damage. Hanzo for a little more long-range poke. And Whitemane, very interesting. gillyShark don't really have any dive threat currently. There's Greymane to kind of round that out. Let's take a look at our 2 drafts as our teams load in there for game number 1. Dahaka Gul'dan, Muradin, Hanzo, Whitemane. It's going to be tricky for gillyShark to get on top of the Whitemane. And so if she's unfettered, allowed to heal, as long as she's got mana, no one on Epicenter is likely to die. She also has a cleanse, making Temporal Loop not a strong choice. Of course, locking Whitemane down with an Entomb makes it a lot easier to get that kill. And so it's definitely doable for gillyShark. Both teams have decent shrine clear. I think I like Magnitude's draft just a little bit more. But of course, it always comes down to execution. So it very well could be that gillyShark, as the 4th place team, they have performed a little bit better than Epicenter thus far in the season, and that might just be enough of a gap to make the difference here. Alrighty, so getting into the game here. And we can introduce our teams. Here on the left, in blue, we've got Magnitude Epicenter, Delta Sniper on Gul'dan, Clownface playing Hanzo, Bone Z on Muradin, Mac Daddy-O on Whitemane, and MDC on the Dahaka. To the right, in red, gillySharks at Bingo Night. We've got Chess Looter, Schumann, Stark, Miller Coffee, and Iron on Greymane, Leoric, Johanna, Chromie, and Oriole, respectively. Taking a look at our level 1 talents, we've got lots of quests for Epicenter here. And so gillySharks are spread across the map. They don't want to give Magnitude Epicenter too many opportunities to stack up on heroes. Speaking of those stacking talents, we've got Pursuit of Flame for Delta Sniper, Clownface opting for Simple Geometry, and of course it's Enhanced Agility for MDC on the Dahaka. Time Walker's Pursuit for Miller Coffee is going to be very helpful for finding any sort of Muradin lurking in the bush. That vision, always a useful tool, with gillySharks immediately onto their right side siege camp. Epicenter have got a fair bit of damage here on the bot fort wall. Bone Z is going to get out without too much trouble. We'll see if either team tries to play for this bot siege camp. Chess Looter has started it. Muradin getting stunned into the bush there now knows. Stark continuing to zone, and there's a lot of damage that they've all taken. There's the dig in from MDC. It's a little late for the camp steal. Oh my gosh, a huge proc on the level 4 from Johanna. Subdue for a big slow and double kill for gillyShark at Bingo Night. They're really far ahead on experience. I guess there are just a lot of minions that Epicenter have not tended to. So that is a little bit of a bummer for our home team. They've evened the talent tier. We've got Explosive Arrows for Hanzo, so that's going to help a lot with the Shrine clear, as first objective is just announced. What else do we have? Greater life tap. Improved life tap, rather. Thunderburn. Interesting. Not what I'm accustomed to seeing at level 4 from Muradin. And I know nothing about Whitemane talents, so Martyrdom. Great. One who collects for Dahaka is going to give them a better chance to deal with any mercenaries getting sent their way. gillyShark already on this objective and get a quick 15 lead, make it 17, 18 in fact. There's the double proc from the level 4 Thunderburn. Delta Sniper eating so much damage from Miller Coffee there. Here's the rotation in from Dahaka as well. So with Schumann falling very low, gillyShark are happy to play off their advantage, go collect some resources. But they're going to have to get in here soon. Epicenter have evened up lightning fast. It's 30 apiece on the objective. Another big subdue proc, 35 for Epicenter. This is going to come down right to the wire, and it's going to be Epicenter who managed to steal it away. gillyShark, unfortunately, could not get back into the shrine on time, and Epicenter's shrine clear is strong enough that leaving them unattended for the reset meant that gillyShark could not participate once again. They're still ahead on experience, about 3/4 of a level lead. Clownface found by Schumann here on the right side. There's the Martyrdom from Mac Daddy-O, or not Martyrdom, Intercession, the cleanse at level 7. It's not enough, however, so gillyShark pick up another takedown, 3 unanswered thus far for the red team. A quick grab on that right side siege camp, likely going to see another play for this bot siege camp as well. So gillySharks continue to increase that experience lead with mercenaries as well as minions. We've got the heroic for Chromie locked in already, slowing Sands. Stark, lurking in the bush, finds Clownface. Iron does not connect the Detainment Strike. They've managed one stack to their level 4 thus far. Repeated offense, which makes those wall stuns all the more threatening. Stormbolt lands on a Miller Coffee, but there's nothing threatening behind that stun. And gillyShark are rounding the corner towards level 10 and the rest of the team's heroics. They immediately lock him in and start the invade. A huge Blessed Shield. Immediate takedown on the Clownface. Bonesy's going to escape, but Mac Daddy-O will not. It's another 2 takedowns for gillySharks. Magnitude Epicenter kind of reeling here in the early game. And I love this call from gillySharks. Grouping up as 5, getting as much push done as they can while they still have the heroic talent advantage. Now that Epicenter are respawning, they'll peel back and take out this siege camp. A little bit of have your cake and eat it too. So front wall in bot has gone down on the side of Epicenter. gillySharks, of course, lost their front wall in mid due to the objective. Top is looking pretty healthy. We've got heroics online for both teams now. Dragon's Arrow, Avatar, Horrify, Isolation, and Scarlet Aegis, which I'm sure I will call the incorrect thing. gillySharks, we saw a few of the heroics used, but it's Cursed Bullet, Entomb, Blessed Shield, and, of course, Crystal Aegis. Chromie's unlocked her 13 talent tier thanks to her trait, so she is even more survivable than before thanks to Time Out at level 11 for her. Mac Daddy-O, once again, I think has to be the target for gillySharks if they want to be successful in these 5v5s now that both teams have their heroics. They'll get another early lead on the objective. Chestlooter and Schumann cut off a bit here. A drag lands, oh, but the Horrify does not connect thanks to a excellent use of the Unstoppable from Stark. Bonesy falling low here. Still has the Avatar. Stark whiffs the Blessed Shield, but Mac Daddy-O gets caught in the Entomb. The Dragon's Arrow goes wide. Scatter Arrow level 1 complete. Stark low. Schumann falls. And Mac Daddy-O able to heal through the whole thing after using the Scarlet Aegis. The entire team survives with relative ease. And once again, that's that White Mane effect. Chestlooter is willing to try and die for these last few. They only need 9 more, and Schumann is respawning here shortly. Iron getting caught down here. They'll live. Clownface is falling low here. 31 objective minions for gillySharks. 28 for Epicenter. Another real close call. Drag lands onto Schumann. 34 to 35. Oh, it's neck and neck. gillySharks have the narrow lead here. It looks like they're probably going to secure it. And they do. Delta Sniper and Miller Coffee fighting it down in the bot lane. On the top side, MDC goes down to Iron. So both teams not terribly afraid to throw these heroics. And an honorable 1v1 between Chromie and Gul'dan in the backline is always a fun thing to catch. Stark continuing to zone. Chestlooter trying to chase with them. They can do that a lot more easily now that they've got level 13 online with the move speed granted from, I don't remember what it's called, On the Prowl. Of course, of course. Stark going the hard way under the fort here. The wave will be here shortly. Isolation lands onto Chest Looter. And a huge Dragon's Arrow catches 4 with the Horrify as well. That's a takedown on Greymane. So 3 heroics committed for that takedown. We'll see how Epicenter want to take advantage of this power play they've earned for themselves. They've got level 13s now as well. Bonesy jumping after Schumann, who has so much room to get away thanks to their level 13 Ominous Wraith, increasing the duration of Wraith Walk. Also reducing damage. What other 13s do we have online? Piercing Lash for Iron on Oriel. Spell Armor for Delta Sniper with Fell Armor. I believe it's a 50 Spell Armor every time they land one of their Fell Flame. I believe that's Ninja Assassin, yep. For the Hanzo player. Bonesy has opted for Healing Static, a common pairing with the level 4 Thunderburn. Looks like they're trying to gank Schumann here on Leoric, who once again is probably one of the safer heroes at this point. gillySharks continue to enjoy a full level lead. They're looking for another fight. Clownface sidesteps that Blessed Shield. Another Iron Skin to dodge the Horrify. And so gillyShark won't have an opportunity to engage with Blessed Shield after they secure their level 16s here. I believe the mid-wave should be enough to do it. Schumann picking that up and securing the next talent tier. We've got Royal Focus for Leoric. Eager Wolf, so additional attack speed for Chest Looter. Schumann has to contend with all 4 of Epicenter. They're going to get a lot of siege damage done on this fort. They're also even on talent tiers now. Schumann spooks in here, maybe looking for an Entomb, but it's just a bluff. gillyShark's far more concerned with taking out the mid fort and getting rid of that well for Epicenter. They'll have a harder time sustaining through the objective without it. And so gillySharks have a distinct advantage. What other level 16s? MDC has opted for Pack Leader, the new level 16 for Dahaka. 40 armor, like, all the time. Huge Dragon's Arrow once again. The Isolation lands a big damage reduction from Schumann here. So much damage onto Mac Daddio. They're chasing him down, but they're able to escape. Heroics have flown in every direction. No one's got any left in the tank. gillySharks still have a slight lead here. Schumann in a lot of trouble. They're going to land the Drain Hope, but they're alone 1v5 on the Shrine. Bone Z taking a fair bit of punishment, but it's MDC who will fall first. Mac Daddio running away. Chest Looter cannot continue the chase. Miller Coffee gets the reveal here, and one more hit on the Mac Daddio. Man, that's a lot of chromie damage. Alright. What else do we have at level 16? This is a big power spike for Epicenter. I'm a bit surprised that they were unable to secure that objective with Rampant Hellfire or Delta Sniper and Clownface unlocking Giant Slayer. The percent damage on all auto attacks and scatter arrows. I suppose it is very difficult to land those scatter arrows in the objective, so that might have been what kept Stark and Schumann healthy enough to keep fighting. Stark throws the Blessed Shield on Muradin after the John Cena jump. Delta Sniper happy to play this bottom side of the fort. They've got lots and lots of spell armor. Oh, Miller Coffee's Storm Talent tier is online. They've opted for Unraveling. Oh, a combination of both heroics onto Miller Coffee, but Iron still had the Crystal Aegis. They'll escape. Chest Looter chases down the Hanzo on the top side. Clownface falls. MDC trades out for Schumann. Midkeep, of course, went down to the objective there. MacDaddio lands the root from level 16? Harsh Discipline. Yeah. So it's going to be constant catapult pressure here in mid lane. gillyShark's now enjoying a nearly 2-level lead, thanks largely to all of these hero takedowns. 11-3 in their favor thus far. And they're going to continue sending these siege camps at Magnitude Epicenter. We're up to 12 stacks on Reservoir of Hope for Iron, so they can heal a lot at this point. With Glimmer of Hope at 7, they'll get more and more opportunities to stack that up as well. Schumann lands the Entomb onto 2, deep under the fort. They're able to take out the Gul'dan. MacDaddio's still healing up, but it's not going to be enough. The Silence Entomb buried alive there, making a big difference, as did Stark's level 20 Radiating Faith. The additional stun time on Blessed Shield is pretty underrated, if I had to lend my opinion of it. Stark went the hard way. Stark caught on the inside of the base. Insert your Eric Andre let me in memes. Schumann walks in just to get that damage reduction on the Clown Face, trying to prevent the wave from getting cleared. Epicenter definitely on the back foot here. Schumann has the Entomb once again. They're not able to find Bone Z or Clown Face. I'm just going to go with Bones. Not going to keep calling him Bone Z. That's my share. Looks like they're hunting for MDC, but they're going to get to the Hall of Storms safely. gillyShark steal away the Bruiser camp on the left side here as this altar in bot spawns. It's an Arcane Punisher. gillyShark's completely unperturbed. Schumann wants to find another Entomb here. They're looking for that engagement with their Storm talent tier advantage. Magnitude Epicenter with MDC on the Dahaka will have an opportunity to potentially secure even talent tiers, but not before gillySharks get a large advantage here on the Shrine. There it is. Storm talents on both sides. Muradin has opted for Stone Form. Hardened Shield, rather. Oh, the timeout dodges the Horrify. That was with Haunt as well, but the Dragon's Arrow lands true. Iron gets a huge heal. There's the Avatar. Entomb onto 2. They caught MacDaddio and they take out the healer. Schumann will fall, but they've done their job and taken out the White Mane. Bone Z fallen very low. On the top side, MZC trying to chase Stark and Chest Looter down. Bones will heal up thanks to their passive, but gillySharks at 37, they're going to finish off this objective. Delta Sniper may fall here as well. Miller Coffee able to finish off that Gul'dan. Chest Looter trying to chase down Clown Face, but Bones finds Chest Looter with the Stormbolt. 2-for-1 trading in favor for gillySharks. They've got another objective. And top keep is, 2 catapults. They're probably going to lose. They're definitely going to lose that keep. They will likely lose the game here as well. Still 10 seconds until they get their healer back. There's the stun onto Bones. Schumann catches Clown Face in the Entomb. Isolation lands onto Stark, but they didn't get any bounces with Contagion at level 20. And they've got Greymane on core. So that'll do it for game number 1. GG and well played. gillySharks at Bingo Night looking very comfortable on their battleground selection there. Let's take a look at our post-game stats here. What do we have? Delta Sniper, top of the charts, 77,000 damage at level 16. Definitely ramps up. But the takedowns kind of tells the whole story for game 1. gillySharks able to rack up 17 takedowns to Magnitude Epicenter's 4. 3 of those 4, of course, were on Leoric, which, experience-wise, a Leoric kill is just as good as any other, but as far as creating a power play for your team, because of his Undying trait, he gets back so much faster. Our builds, once again, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Stark opting for Roar at 13 rather than Blessed Hammers. Chest Looter opting for Eager Wolf rather than Lord of his Pack, and there's another one in there somewhere. Alpha Killer, I believe? Iron's healing output with Glimmer of Hope at 7 and Reservoir of Hope at 16. Whew, that was some pretty serious stuff. And then add the 75 armor of Diamond Resolve. And it was really hard for Epicenter to find those takedowns, even with some great Dragon's Arrows. Unfortunately, Delta Sniper's Horrifies ended up getting dodged a lot of the time. And so that might have been a big difference maker. So let's head back to our Battleground selection here to see where we might be headed for game number 2. For anyone who tuned in midway through game 1, welcome. We're happy to have you. This is Magnitude Epicenter against gillySharks at Bingo Night. And we've got the first game in the book. Lardverse in chat mentioning that every objective went in favor of gillySharks. It's true, and that was no. Epicenter did win one of the very close 37 to 39 moments. So Epicenter did get the first one. Unfortunately, they also, I think, suffered a takedown on their push. Once again, the takedown's very one-sided. And so that kind of nullified that first objective push. And it looks like we're headed to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Magnitude Epicenter opting for Battleground selection this time around. I think gillySharks have, if they're able to pick up those same picks, you know, thinking about recycling drafts, both could work here, but actually it might even be better for Epicenter if they went with the Hanzo again. The Scatter Arrow not getting interfered with as much on objective contests. Also very helpful for having the Sonic Arrow for the vision of the turn-in points. Lots of safe stalls. I think the biggest thing that Epicenter are going to have to contend with is the lightning-fast engagements from gillySharks. It was the decisive Blessed Shield engagement once they hit level 10 that kind of got the snowball rolling in favor of gillySharks. We've got the draft rolling. That is the fastest Tassadar ban I've ever seen. They really don't want Epicenter to have that hero. Last game, we saw Lucio and Falstad bans out of Epicenter. We'll see if they want to adjust their strategy and potentially look at getting rid of the Oriole. They're sticking to their guns. Lucio once again. And there's the response from gillySharks, sticking to the Garrosh ban. So if Epicenter want to keep it all the same, we'll see a Falstad ban here. gillySharks Definitely favor the gray main. That's a contested pick between the two, so likely we will not see it banned out. And there's the Muradin ban. Okay. So Johanna often first pickable here on Tomb of the Spider Queen because of how much flexibility she affords your draft. Bringing Wave Clear from the tank slot is pretty neat. So we'll see how gillyShark prioritize it. They do want the Joe first. So Epicenter will have their opportunity to pick away the Chromie Oriole if they want it. As mentioned, those are two of their more played heroes thus far this season, which is part of why it was so good for gillySharks to pick them away. It's going to be Sylve instead. Okay. And Stitch. Oh. The Shambling Horror. My least favorite hero to play against. Iron picks up Anduin. Leap of Faith will help deal to some degree with the displacement from Stitch's hook. And there's Blaze for EKB. So a substitution for gillySharks as well, I'm now noticing. Next ban. It was Diablo in game 1, but they've already picked up a tank and a healer and an offlaner. So really, Epicenter put in the unfavorable position of having to pick a DPS somewhat at random. gillyShark's keeping their draft very flexible in that way. They'll stick with the Falstad ban. Gust is a very powerful tool. And gillySharks have played a fair bit of Falstad this season. So I think it's reasonable scouting data informed to get rid of that. gillySharks went for an Uther ban before, but that was when they had already picked away the Oriole. They'll pivot to the Oriole ban instead. Asmodan? Asmodan? In 2025? In this economy? This is getting very exciting. We'll see how Epicenter managed to stack up the big spooky dude. I don't remember what he's Lord of. Help me out, chat. Asmodan, Lord of what? gillySharks, they'll respond. They've got both damage dealers. Lord of Sin, thank you. Zagara and Gul'dan. Alright. So last pick here for the offlane, or Epicenter, unless it's Asmodan offlane, which would be truly unhinged in my mind. We could see a Leoric. Okay, it is offlane Asmodan. Very interesting. Okay. Uther, healer, offlane Asmodan. I can't sugarcoat it. I don't think Magnitude Epicenter have a great draft. I will say gillySharks don't necessarily have the snap burst damage that you want to follow up a Blessed Shield with in Zagara and Gul'dan, but Magnitude Epicenter don't really have anyone who's going to play on the front line, because Stitches tends to hang back to get maximum distance on his hook pulls. I mean, they've got other engage tools. Hanzo and Sylvanas both bring potential engage tools. Uther can to some degree with Divine Storm. Yeah, this is a weird draft on both sides. We'll see if the triple ranged is the special sauce that Magnitude need to get the win here in Game 2 and take us to a full 3-game series. We can introduce our teams once again. Here on the left in blue, we've got Magnitude Epicenter, Delta Sniper on Sylvanas, Clownface playing Hanzo, Bones on Stitches, Mac Daddio on Uther, and MDC with the off-lane Asmodan. To the right in red, looking to close it out 2-0, we've got gillySharks, Stark on Johanna, Iron on Anduin, Miller Coffee on Zagara, Schumann playing Gul'dan, and EKB on Blaze. Let's take a look at our level 1 talents. Asmodan has opted for Gluttony at level 1, increasing the damage to mercenaries, minions, non-heroic targets. All PvE non-heroic targets. We've got a bunch of other stacking talents, of course. Simple Geometry for the Hanzo again. Hammer the Lightbringer for Uther. Mac Daddio taking a fair bit of damage there. Another Rampant Hellfire game, this time for Schumann. Miller Coffee, okay. Offlane Zag to match the offlane Asmodan. Stark taking a lot of punishment here. And gillySharks have a lot of wave clear and lockdown, with both Blaze and Johanna represented in the top side rotations. EKB getting a cheeky little jet propulsion onto Bones there. Thus far, gillySharks are doing a better job. Oh, Miller Coffee caught with the hook. They'll get out thanks to the move speed from their creep. They're doing a great job getting that creep spread out too. How many stacks do we have for MDC? Up to 16 stacks for his baseline and level 1. gillySharks quickly get through that bruiser camp. Epicenter a little bit slower to the party there. Schumann up to 18 stacks on Pursuit of Flame thus far. I think gillySharks could get a lot of push done here. Oh my goodness, great body blocking from both the Joe and the Blaze. First blood for gillySharks. MDC going down means they don't have anyone in the offlane. Delta Sniper caught by another jet propulsion. Schumann unable to get the last Fell Flame to take them out. A quick sidestep on the hook. Mac Daddio connecting with the hammer. They've got body blocks on Bones here, but looks like they're going to be able to escape. So front wall heavily battered, but Epicenter are able to preserve their towers. Level 4 talents. Well met for Uther. Ooh. Stark taking a lot of damage here. Schumann in a lot of trouble as well. Iron has to commit the Leap of Faith. Iron skin used for Stark as well. Playtime. So more slams more often. Increasing the wave clear that Bones brings. Thus far, experience in favor of gillySharks thanks to that hero takedown, as well as the minions lost from that hero's takedown. I don't know if Epicenter saw EKB make this rotation down to the siege camp. gillyShark have enough gems in their pockets to secure the first Webweaver phase. Mac Daddio lands the hammer onto Stark, who's falling very low. Yeah, they're going to fall here. No chance do they survive that. Iron able to recover most of the gems. And both of our teams have enough in their pockets for an objective phase. gillyShark have the vision advantage, of course, so they're going to have an easier time getting those gems in. Paying here on the bot side. Delta Sniper and MDC take care of that siege camp. They've got to get MDC turned in. gillyShark, I don't think they're going to make the rotation. EKB doesn't have the chance to get it turned in. That's once again those stalls from Hanzo. And so first objective phase goes over to Magnitude Epicenter. We've got level 7s on both sides. Hand of Protection, the Cleanse for Uther. That's an important talent. And the off lane... Oh, he's so dead, right? Yeah. EKB hiding in the bush as long as they could. I was commenting on his level 7 talent, Master of Destruction, giving an AoE explosion on his laser. Iron dodges the hook there. Top side for Epicenter is pushing pretty heavily. gillyShark's committed all 4 heroes here to the mid fort, and so Delta Sniper has gotten a lot of progress done on the top fort wall. Bones looks for the hook there, does not connect. But this is a massive wave. Of course, Schumann and Miller Coffee have some really strong wave clear between the two of them. Add Johanna to that mix, and oh, EKB potentially in a lot of trouble here. They're able to get the jet propulsion, but the hook lands. This is 26 gems that gillySharks won't have the opportunity to grab. Miller Coffee on the mount. Iron thinks about it, but that's 26 gems they'll not be getting back. A excellent rotation from Epicenter. Committed all 5 heroes to it, but it was a big economy hit for gillySharks. They're able to secure their objective, of course, with their heroics. So Blaze is back up for the push, but it's going to be even talent tiers. Epicenter have the luxury of getting all of the waves prepped. I'd love to see them controlling vision a little bit more. Yeah, MDC is going to go down on the bot side. gillySharks liked what they saw when their Blaze got ganked, figured they could do the same. So it's an easy clear for Epicenter here in top and mid. Well, I say that while Delta Sniper eats the jet propulsion. EKB continuing to chase him down here. Drawing the fort aggro just to preserve their wave. Getting another set of damage with the flame streams as well. Bunker and Bruiser Camp still holding this fort aggro a bit. Stark draws it now. Dragon Strike to split the team. Devouring Maw happened, of course, catching MDC on the Asmodan. What other heroics do we have? We've still got Wailing Arrow available, Gorge, of course. It's Divine Shield instead of Divine Storm. And Army of Destruction? Demonic Invasion. On the other side, Schumann still holding onto their Horrify. Bones would love to catch that Gul'dan and get him in the belly. Epicenter much closer to their next objective phase from an economy standpoint. They've got the Bruiser Camp here to get mid lane pushed out, but MDC kind of stranded in the bot lane, dealing with the wave that got pushed in there. So gillyShark get a pretty free clear of the Bruiser Camp. Bones gets stalled from the top turn-in. On the bot side, we do have MDC and Delta Sniper making the rotation in. So this is going to be a full 5v5. Clownface cleansed. There's the... Oh, but they caught the Blaze. A Fear. Okay, lots of heroics every which way. The Bunker likely to save EKB here. They will indeed survive. Yeah, Blaze was definitely one of the harder targets to take down with that Gorge attempt. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, though. At least that's some hockey mathematics that I learned from Wayne Gretzky. So it was worth a shot, but didn't go their way. Epicenter have the next objective phase. Level 13 is a big power spike for them. Bones now has the extended length on their hook with what was known as fishing hook. Another 5 hero commitment to the top lane for Epicenter. They think better of it. Top fort falls. You see those danger pings going out around the top turn-in. And there's the black arrows committed in mid lane. gillySharks collapse from top. Look for Stark to throw that Blessed Shield. Clownface trying to preserve the Webweaver HP with a zoning Dragon Strike. So, bottom Webweaver still about half HP, of course, with how far back it spawned and its passive HP loss. It's not going to get a lot of progress here in the bot lane. Not even making it to the fort. So gillySharks, they've got enough gems for their next turn in as well. EKB, the only one, a great cleanse. There's no fort here. And you've got Bunker back up. Ironskin committed. 2 silenced, but once again they escape. Overlapping there, the jet propulsion with the... Oh! Stark falling very low. They can't make it back to the Holy Word Salvation. So another takedown for Epicenter. A great hook, but Iron immediately pulls him back. Excellent cleanse from Anduin there. So Epicenter fighting back here with their triple ranged composition. Of course, the benefit of having 3 damage dealers is that you're able to rip through a boss quite quickly, especially with serrated arrowheads at level 4 for Clownface. Although only 7 stacks of simple geometry thus far. So there's still a fair bit of damage that they could unlock. Miller Coffee will pick up this camp in bottom. That, coupled with the periodic catapult pressure, means that gillySharks will have opposite lane pressure, which they're happy to have. EKB holding 28 of the team's gems. Epicenter would love to get a takedown on Blaze to deny those gems if they could get the opportunity. They'll finish off the mid fort, so we've got talent tier parity and structure parity across the battleground. Pulverize, armor reduction, and a far stronger slow. So it's a big CC boost for Stitches. We've also got Will of the Forsaken for Sylvanas. Full on all shall burn build, so Hell Rift at 16. Interesting, not Rampant Hellfire at 16, opting for Darkness Within instead. Definitely not the typical pairing with Pursuit of Flame at 1. We're up to 9 stacks on Bile Drop. Zagar's level 7. Stark sidesteps the hook once again. There is still the Entomb, or the Gorge threat. EKB playing on the bot side here, perhaps hunting for MacDaddio. NBC scouts them out. It's a pretty easy objective clear for Epicenter. Stark throws the Blessed Shield, lands it on Sylvanas, who still has Will of the Forsaken. They'll get out to safety. EKB looking deep here, but Clownface is going to get gillySharks to peel back with that Dragon Strike. Top fort still falls, but no takedowns after the Blessed Shield was committed. In bot, MDC is going to finish cleaning up this Webweaver. So gillyShark only managed to pick up a single fort with that late game objective. Any other important level 16s? Ah, yes. Benediction for Mac Daddy-O, getting an opportunity to give yourself a soft rewind, increasing the lockdown that they have with their Hammer of Light. We're neck and neck on experience here. Epicenter leading on heroic takedown and minion experience, while gillySharks lead on passive experience. Epicenter, this is where having the triple range composition becomes rather difficult. It is challenging for them to make enough space to get these gems turned in. They've got 53 burning a hole in their pocket. Bones looks for the hook onto EQV. Does not connect. On the bot side, Stark gets the gems required for the turn-in. With only a Stitches to serve as a frontliner, very few of Epicenter are safe enough to step up and make room for that payment station. Means gillySharks get free stalls, the gems they need to secure the next objective phase. A little bit of an awkward timing for the red team. I'm sure they would have loved to have timed this with their Storm talents if they could. Still about a half level away from level 20. Keep front wall goes down in mid. Bones thinking about looking for another hook. Clownface trying to enable them with the Sonic Arrow there. They catch EQV blind. There's the grab. They've still got Bunker. And Bunker is a nonsense ability that goes off even if you're CC'd. EQV pops the Pyromania. They're going to make it out. Oh my lord. And gillyShark have 20 now. Demonic Circle. There's the Blessed Shield onto Bones. Another hook, it does not land. We've also got Blinded by the Light. The Light of Stormwind? Yeah. Maw upgrade. Tyrant Maw, I believe? Not what I'm accustomed to. Miller Coffee getting a little funky there. Not opting for the far more popular Pack Instincts. We've also got Fortified Bunker for EQB on Blaze. So Epicenter, they're going to get Storm talents of their own here, as well as an objective. They can get their waves prepped pretty well. gillySharks have an answer for this mid lane push with their Bruiser camp. And MDC, still far from the team, doesn't feel safe to push out that Siege camp. Instead, joining the rest of Epicenter here in mid. We'll see how long gillyShark stick around. Gul'dan alone in top. I expect Bones would love to get the hook on Gul'dan. Of course, with Gul'dan's level 20, they've got a get out of jail free card. So Epicenter, if they're lucky, get bot fort off this objective. gillyShark have all their heroics. Schumann's a little far from home. Siegebreaker at level 20 means that MDC will make quick work of that great proactive use of Will of the Forsaken. Stark committing the Blessed Shield, but Delta Sniper was able to walk right out of there thanks to their level 16 granting Unstoppable. And that's a big cooldown for gillySharks. Blessed Shield is probably their best engagement tool. And this is where the Stitches composition is a nightmare to play against. You're even on the map. It's it's all about controlling vision. Epicenter have a lot of vision tools. MacDaddio lands the stun. They'll get the Gorge onto 3. Ikebi drops the bunker. Stark gets in. Schumann escapes with a leap of faith. Silence lands onto 2, but it's Sylvanas who will fall first. Stun onto the Anduin, so they won't get a reset there. MacDaddio will respawn here shortly thanks to their level 20 redemption, but Sylvanas cannot say the same, unfortunately. Once again, the bunker from EKB is a real thorn in the side of the Gorge picks that Epicenter have been trying for. They've got a fair push here in mid. MDC going to drop the Siege Breaker on the keep as well, so mid keep may go down with the souped up minions. We'll see how quickly EKB can rip through this stuff. Yeah, EKB will save the mid keep. I don't know that top keep will fare quite as well. Sylvanas has respawned, and this is 5v4 in favor of Epicenter. So in all likelihood, they save their keep as well. Yeah, they're gonna finish it off there. Only 13 stacks on Simple Geometry thus far. We're up to 57 stacks of Hungry for More, however. Someone in chat, I'm sure, can do the math on how much move speed that is. I will not be doing math on stream. And another objective for gillyShark. Prepping this top wave. We've got EKB prepping mid wave. Of course, the Webweaver on bot side will not contribute too much to this objective threat. And we're just looking for Bones to find someone with the hook once again. I imagine Schumann will set up a new demonic circle, but perhaps not. So, mid Webweaver goes down without too much trouble. Top keep, however, does not survive. Stark taking a lot of damage there, thanks to the percent damage from Clownface at 16. Up to 17 stacks of Simple Geometry now. So gillySharks, bit by bit, are getting the structural advantage here. Stark brought in with the Gorge. They've still got their Iron Skin. They'll use it here. There's the Leap of Faith as well. The Wailing Arrow a little too late to stop Iron from saving Johanna there. The body blocks from Epicenter were good, but it's not enough. All the while, Bot Keep was taking a lot of damage from the objective and Catapult, so it goes down as well. gillyShark's playing a very patient game. If Epicenter get the hook on Anduin or Zagara, that's their best case scenario. It's very difficult for them to do. You know, Miller Coffee spreading the creep as they have is making it very difficult for Bones to get to an advantageous out-of-vision position to thread the needle with the hook. And the waves that continue to push towards Magnitude Epicenter grant gillySharks all the more vision to work with. Boss is up in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Epicenter once again have the gems they need for the next Webweaver phase, but they have the difficult task of fighting their way into a turn-in station. gillySharks just posturing around the top side. while Epicenter group up here in mid. Miller Coffee continuing to spread creep around the bot side as well. This could be a late one. Epicenter have no incentive to step up. They're happy just to play for the stitches. They catch Stark. All right, so that's Iron Skin for Hook. Iron Skin, a little bit of a longer cooldown. And there's Bile Drop. So a pretty big power spike for Miller Coffee here. They've got 4 different summons, all dealing % damage. Bones just tries to channel here. Just do it in their face. Boss has respawned. gillyShark's posturing around the boss now. Delta Sniper able to check it with the Haunting Wave. I think Bones is far enough away from the rest of gillyShark that they'll get the gems turned in. They do indeed. So let's see if Magnitude Epicenter can make hay here. gillyShark are on the boss. Oh my goodness. gillyShark just walk away from it. There's the Blessed Shield. Sylvanas gets the cleanse. Dragon, or Divine Shield. But it costs MDC their life. Miller Coffee caught, though. That's a big deal. This is the target they've been trying to catch every time. Fear lands. Oh my god. Immediate blow up onto Hanzo. Mac Daddy-O getting chased. EKB will finish them off. One more jet propulsion could be a difference maker. Mac Daddy-O will be respawning. Thanks to Redemption. Another hook onto Stark this time. They still got Iron Skin. Mac Daddy-O won't respawn again. How's the objective going? Alright, mid keep likely to fall. Top keep definitely won't. So Epicenter will have one lane of advantage. And mid is a decent lane to have pushing in your favor because of how much vision it controls around the payment stations. Of course, they're going to have to figure out how to work around all of the save mechanics that gillySharks have. Iron on Anduin putting in double time with their Leap of Faiths. Leaps of Faith? Yes, Leaps of Faith, like Postmasters General. And Cole's to sack. Alright, so now gillyShark are in the better economic position. Epicenter check boss once again. Are they going to rip it? Do they have... They still only have 18 stacks. I mean, they might... Oh, they commit the Siegebreaker for it. This is a Hail Mary all-or-nothing play from Epicenter. gillySharks are here. EKB is late. Tyrant Maw catches 2. Stark doesn't make it onto the point in time. Invulnerable Light of Stormwind. EKB caught. Oh, the tornado. They'll lose Bones. So they've traded 1 for 1, but without their stitches, I don't know how well Epicenter can step up. That said, gillySharks don't have any serious engagement threat anymore. Mac Daddy-O eating all of the Zerg damage here. Holy cow. And Boss will get some damage here on top keep, but Miller Coffee and Schumann put out a lot of damage, and so it's still going to be standing here. Very little HP on top keep, but it lives. It's alive! What do we have? 46 gems potentially for gillyShark, only 18 for Epicenter. And who's holding them? Stark on Johanna is holding them. That makes a lot of sense. But with everyone showing in bot lane, Joe's going to get a free opportunity to turn in on the top side here. always a lot easier for the front line to step up and make space when they're not holding their whole team's economy. Let's keep it going. Could be a 40-minute game. We're already up to a half hour. Let's keep it going. Boss is in 3 minutes, 10 seconds. So the big question for me at this point is, can Epicenter survive another objective? They're just trying to get MDC in range to finish off the keep. They find Miller Coffee. There's the cleanse, or the Blessed Shield. Miller Coffee gets saved. Maw onto 2. This has gone from bad to worse for Magnitude Epicenter. They lose 2. Stark catches Bones here. They've got the slows from EQB as well. Great body blocks on the Blaze. Schumann just trying to chase off the Stitches. On the bot side, we see the Divine Shield used. Clown Face will fall. Delta Sniper still has a Haunting Wave, so they'll live a little bit longer. Bit of an overlap on the save mechanics with Will of the Forsaken and Helping Hand. With those takedowns, gillyShark have picked up enough gems to secure the turn-in. They'll do just that and then look to push for the victory here and seal out a potentially level 27, though unlikely. Oh, Stark misses with the Blessed Shield. They would have loved to get that takedown. EQB does not miss the point-blank jet propulsion, however. Iron gets the full channel on Light of Stormwind. Hungry Stitches immediately interrupted with a Maw. Oh, Bones is dead here for sure. Mac Daddy-O gets a stun and can run away thanks to their level 4, but Schumann is trying to chase him down. EQB does not connect with the jet propulsion here. Core shielding is now down, Delta Sniper low, and the last flame stream from the bunker ruins the KDA just a little bit more as the core finishes off. So GG, well played. It goes in favor of gillyShark's 2-0. A tough game, but Epicenter looked very strong on a non-standard composition. I didn't know what to expect from a off-lane Asmodan with main tank Stitches, but they played patiently, which is 100% what you need to do with that sort of draft. What else do we have here? Miller Coffee, of course, crazy damage. Schumann not too far behind them either. Late game Zagara with Corrosive Saliva is a huge menace. Asmodan, top of the experience contribution, thanks no doubt to their Demon Lieutenant and their level 4 Battleborn. Whew. What a game, what a game. What a series, in fact. It looks a bit like gillySharks were the stronger team tonight, although I do like the creativity that we saw out of Magnitude Epicenter there. Not many teams, I think, would be willing to go for broke on a triple-ranged composition, but it looked pretty strong. So we'll see if I can't wrangle an interview here from one of our winning team members. And it looks like I will be joined here. Give me just 1 second. I can make sure that everyone... Yes. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear you because my settings were messed up a little earlier. All right. Here we go. Welcome, Stark. How's it going? How are you feeling? Talk to me about the comms during draft for Game 2.
Comms during draft for Game 2. we discussed, hey, we could just pick the same 5 heroes again. They're pretty good. And then we began by doing that and successfully got one of them. I think we banned the same things. Yeah, we banned Oriole instead of whatever we banned in game 1.
Uther.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew they were Oriole, Uther favorers. So we were like, what do we want to play against, Oriole or Uther? So we banned the Oriole. Gave them the Uther, because that's based on research what we'd expect. Otherwise, it was the advice that I've gotten from Dreadnought for drafting here before is you pick wave clear, and then you pick more wave clear, and then you pick more wave clear than you think you need, and then you pick more wave clear, and then that's the draft. So that's basically what we did. We added a few vision tools.
Which are always very helpful, of course.
Yeah, it's good around the middle areas. Nice for the hooks, I guess, as well in this particular game.
Exactly. Now, the triple ranged composition from Epicenter, did you expect it to perform as well as it did?
I mean, I think anything can perform pretty well in these games, so I don't really know what I expected, to be honest. I saw the draft and I was like, well, there's occasionally MDC does Azmodan. There's one game, but now 2, where that happens, and I'm like, that probably means someone else plays the off lane, and then that didn't happen. I was like, okay, Azmodan off lane. So as soon as that, we discussed in loading screen, well, do we put Blaze there because he's supposed to be there, or do we put Sagara there because then we're just degenerate quick match players at that stage? So we went the degen route, and it worked pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's a great adaptation from y'all with the laning arrangement. Blaze doesn't fare too poorly into Azmodan, but Zagara definitely a little bit better suited for trading up ranged hero against ranged hero. And game 1 on Infernal looked like you guys just kind of ran a clinic there. The early game experience lead, I think, is what threw me off most. You guys got level 4 way before Epicenter, and just were able to continue that. You lost first objective, but got level 10s and immediately found that Blessed Shield around their siege camp. When you have that heroic talent tier advantage, how important is it for you as a team to be able to pull the trigger immediately and capitalize?
I think it should be as soon as possible, assuming you have relevant buttons that are good go buttons. But yeah, not only go immediately, get it done while you have the free heroic, but also make sure you don't give them the exact same fight once they get level 10. Because you're not going to have much, probably, once the first heroic fight's done. And then they're going to get theirs, and then you don't want to give it to them too. So it's kind of not only go really fast once you hit 10 first, but also make sure you don't give the same back to them.
Absolutely.
And I think we did that.
I think so too. I think you guys also had a large enough experience advantage at that point where Blessed Shield was back off cooldown by the time they got their heroics.
Yeah, I'm looking at the XP graph on my replay program, and it looks like we were about a minute ahead on level 10.
Yeah.
So Blessed Shield would have been back up.
Well, there you have it. I also liked the choice that y'all made after getting that fight win, staying grouped up as 5 to get some push done while you had the power play. Do you feel like that is optimal in those situations, or would it have been better to have the Leoric head back and collect more minions?
We discussed that in comms quite rapidly. As soon as that happened, we were like, oh, nice, we won the fight. And then sort of did the whole heroes players thing. We were like, take the camps. And then Chess was like, no, hit the building. It's right there. And then we all just hit the building. And then I think after we sort of were on the same page, we were like, right, once we got the towers, then we'll split Leo off and then decide if we want to do some other stuff. But yeah, I mean, how you win this hero brawler is won by killing a building. So, you know, gotta kill a building at some point.
Important for everyone to remember.
Yeah.
Sage words. Yeah, and with a gray main, you guys were able to rip through it lightning fast, so I don't even know how much soak was lost, truth told. Like, you guys were super efficient and just kept it up all throughout game 1. So this domination, checking on standings here, this will put you in first place temporarily.
As long as it's temporary. Okay.
Yes. You'll be at 26 points, where Noob Management and High Inquisitors sit at 23 points. I'm not sure on how many series everyone's played, but as we look towards the postseason, as it is very close, what sort of path do you expect for the team to have? Are you hoping to go late? Would you like to win the division? How's the team feeling about the postseason?
Usually step 1 is get playoffs, and then step 2 is don't get promoted. So as long as we get that, we're pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the 5th season in A. Why not make it 6? 6 is great.
Exactly.
Six
We're
is closer to
here.
6.5 after all.
The funny number. Yeah, of heroes. Exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah, honestly, that's usually the goal. So
Perfect. And
do that.
thanks for sticking around for the interview, Stark. I know it's quite late for you.
Yeah, 24.
I'll let you head back to celebrate with the team. Do you want to give any shout-outs before you go?
Yeah, shout outs to first and foremost gillyweed for getting the team together a bazillion years ago. We have mostly stuck together, and it's still fun. So shout out to you. She's on a honeymoon in Japan soon, so that should be cool.
Very cool.
Shout outs to the rest of the team. They did great. They probably made some good plays that I should highlight that I don't remember, but nice. Shout out to you for casting. Shout out to Epicenter or Epicenter to I think it's Epicenter.
It's got to be.
Very epic. Yeah. For being good opponents. It was very fun. We should scrim sometime. And shout out to Team Boogans Forever for scrimming us a bazillion times. We do a lot of in-houses with them, but we're not good, so we call them the outhouses because that's the quality of our play. And yeah, Kalavoth did a very good, was very inspiring on the Johanna for me today. I was like, I hit Buzzard Shield, I don't get hooked sometimes, and I go clear waves, and that's what I did for 2 games. So, shout out for the fun and interactive gameplay example, Carla.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for the interview, Stark. Have a good one.
Indeed. Thank you. See you later.
So that'll do it here for us in this series. A tight couple of games there in the beginning, but in the end, or I should say a first objective looked good for Magnitude Epicenter in game 1, but after that it was kind of all gillySharks for the rest of the series. That'll do it for me here this evening. I'll give some shout-outs of my own before I sign off. First and foremost, to all of you who tuned in, thank you so much for coming out to support these 2 teams. It's always great to see how much NGS shows up for one another. If you are not an NGS member and you'd like to join, you can see in chat there are links to the websites. Come check us out. We're lots of fun. I'll also give a shout out to all of the volunteers that make NGS run. It's all completely volunteer run. No one's getting paid for this. There's no entry fee. It's an awesome, awesome league that is supported by a lot of dedicated folks, so thank you to them. And last but not least, a huge shout out to all of the artists, programmers, and musicians I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions. And you can find links to all of their work below or coming up in a credit roll after I sign off here. So please do go check them out. It's all Creative Commons or open source licensed material, so it could be in your next project as well if you heard or saw something you liked. Until next time, friends, good luck and have fun out there. Peace and love.